Should I just actually, like, back off? Yeah, I'm just gonna let him finish her off. Fire off a corpse pilot here. Fire one off here. Just gonna aggro on her. Haha!
Extraordinary. The mark of a true lord. Oh, dear Miquella. Oh, dearest Miquella. My brother. I'm sorry. I finally met my match.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a complicated card game, full of many rulings and even more confusing cards. With a budget of $50, I'm going to take a eBay tournament-ready loot box deck and, with sealed product, turn it into a competitive monster. However, there is a catch. You guys are able to throw out a punishment challenge every episode. Following that, there will be challenges to unlock starter decks and dual Devastator. Can I do it? Can I top a YCS and locals? Let's go find out. Yeah, I totally have not been delaying this episode because I've been totally playing Elden Ring. Yeah. So I'm just looking over here at the our own personal challenges that we haven't looked at in 5 episodes. We have completed the match and the one game. So I just need to pull a secret rare to get another structure deck. But that leaves the question of what structure deck are we going to go with? And I believe the strongest one that we can go with that will help us out, or help me out in this challenge, is the Shaddoll Showdown structure deck. Not only does it come with a variety of Shaddoll monsters that basically can function by itself, and also has the start of the fusion strategy that I'm going to be going with. it has some great staples in Armageddon Knight, Allure, Lost Wind, and even some back row removal, which is very much needed. So, without too much further ado, let's get to the opening. Oh boy! I wasn't expecting to actually be able to do this. So, because we won a couple matches, we got a structure deck. On top of that, $10 extra. So, I'm gonna save the structure deck for last. This is what our whole budget basically entails. This plus the structure deck. So, if we can get a secret rare out of these 3 packs that were fresh from a box, we can get another structure deck in the next episode. Exciting stuff. What do we get? Give it a little tap. Whew. Alright. Trimid Loading, Beast King Unleashed, Magitech Absorption, Alien Stealthbuster, Flying Red Carp, Despia Theater of the Branded, Dimmer Synthesis, Night End Administrator, and Stardust Trio. Well, surprisingly enough, you guys may be wondering why Dawn of Majesty. Who knows? But let's continue on. Jar of Generosity, Dispatcherazzi, Converging Wills Dragon, Monster Assortment, Albion the Shrouded Dragon. Oh, baby. Yes. Baby Mud Dragon, Stardust Trail, Master Diplomat, Margin Trading. So, I'm just gonna spoil things right now. We're going Despia. We're going Despia because, I don't know. Masquerade the Fiend Dragon actually spoke to me. So, I'm going to try to build Sealed Only Despia. Not only just Sealed Only Despia. Despian Tragedy, Magic Key Unlocking, Glacial Aquamador, 2 Toads, 1 Sting, Gunkin Ship Irakuri. I originally was planning on just going full out with the set to try and get a secret. The Dreadnought, Mystical Beast of the Forest, I'm not even going to try to say that, Margin Trading, and Life Twins Sunny Snitch. Okay, so out of this we got 2 cards that we can potentially use. I don't know if I have a branded card for Albion, but sent it from Special Summon, place this, yeah. Theater of the Branded, so boom boom. But that being said, out of all the structure decks that I could have gone and got, Charmers, for their insane, essentially mini dual Devastator. I could have went for the Albaz structure deck to just play Albaz. I could have gone with heroes, dinosaurs, rockets. Instead, I found Shaddoll structure deck. Shaddolls have been the archetype that I've been wanting to play for a while. And I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to find it. This box, this cost me $50. This was $9. So out of the $60 I was allotted for this episode, all of it went into the Shaddoll structure pack. Am I making a big mistake by doing Shaddoll Inzectors? Who knows? But I got inspired by rewatching TCG Wolf's Shaddoll from scratch and Pax's balling on a budget, so you can blame them for this monstrosity of what's about to happen here. Do I know how to play Shaddolls? No. Am I gonna let that stop me? No. Here's our paper playmat. Beautiful. Beautiful. I didn't think I'd be able to open one this soon, but let's see what we get in here. Really? That's all I'm gonna get? Okay, fine. Fine. Alright. Oh, there's our token. El Shaddoll Grista. El Shaddoll Cologne. El Shaddoll Construct. Quad Shaddoll Kilos. Reshaddoll Wendy. I'm pretty sure we have one in Ultra Rare. Nail Shaddoll Ariel. Reshaddoll Incarnation. El Shaddoll Winda is essentially going to be our waifu for laifu for now. El Shaddoll Shikanaga. Shaddoll Fusion, one of the best fusion spells in the game. Falco. Hedgehog. Squamata. Dragon. Beast. Hound. Zephyrnaga. Zephyr Core. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. One of the main reasons why I wanted to get this was to have access to Chaos. So that, Lava Golem for the side deck, Dark-Armed Dragon, another amazing card here. Look at this beauty. You wanna focus? Oh. Fairy Tale Sleeper. Performage Trick Clown. Armageddon Knight. Felice Lightsworn Archer. Electromagnetic Turtle. Mathematician. Curry Bandit. Paris. Curse of the Shadow Prison. El Shaddoll Fusion. Nef Shaddoll Fusion. Super Polymerization. Instant Fusion, Allure of Darkness, Foolish Burial, Living Fossil, Pot of Avarice, Twin Twisters, Shaddoll Core, Sinister Shadow Games, Peru Shaddoll Aeon, Lost Wind, Unending Nightmare, Necro Fusion, Subterra Succession, Wendigo, Alonconitis, and Construct. Ironically, I can just sleeve this whole thing up and play it, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and mess around with my ratios and see what we can come up with for week 4. So, normally, I struggle to have a really decent angle for this, but I finally have found one. And of course, a lot of things happen, so yeah, let's go over the deck profile real quick. Nice 42, 44 cards, I don't remember, but we're starting off with one Dark-Armed Dragon and Pancratives. 2 of our power cards, in that they can be special summoned. Dark-Armed Dragon, by having 3 darks in the graveyard, we have a lot of grave manipulability, so that Pank is here as a general special summon and quick interruption. So Darkroom Dragon is currently basically our boss monster outside of our extra deck right here. So going on, we have one electromagnetic turtle and one mathematician. Basically, these will explain themselves later. Electromagnetic turtle can banish itself to end the battle phase. Yeah. And Mathematician, when it's summoned, can dump a level 4 monster to the graveyard, so we can essentially get any cards we need to the grave. Moving on with that is Armageddon Knight for the exact same reason, only he does the dark. We have Instant Fusion to special summon out Wendy. Then we got Foolish Burial to dump any card, Super Poly because yes, we are on the Shaddolls. And Tueler of Darkness because hey, draw power. These will be cut, but for right now they are worth it. Moving on, we have 2 Torrential and 3 Solemn Strikes as our main form of trap interruption. As we move on, these will make their way to the side deck when... yeah. So, that is all our generic stuff right there. Going on to our actual main lineups, we have the Exosister package. I hemmed and hawed, but having 2 packs, 2 Ellis, and 2 Stella to give us other plays and light monsters to work with, just couldn't go wrong. With Mathematician and Shaddoll Fusion, essentially we can dump and have packs live. Moving on to the Insector portion, we have 1 Zectcaliber, 2 Ladybugs, 2 Centipedes, 2 Hornet, or 2 Dragonfly, 2 Hornet, and 2 Insect Imitations. I am thinking about cutting the Insect Imitations out because drawing them with the Ladybug is not going to happen that often, but we don't need to explain the Insectors. Now, here's the thing. We do have the Wendy, the Falco, the Dragon, the Ariel, the Beast, the Squamata, and the Hedgehog. So we are including a fairly big Shaddol package for right now. And hopefully moving forward, we're able to incorporate more into the deck until we can start going for Despias. But, with that also being said, the Albaz structure deck has come out recently, or is coming out, so we may transition onto getting those because it has a lot of good cards, and Albaz is one card that I'm looking for. So onto the spells and traps, we got 1 core, Shadow Games, Rishadal, and the 2 main fusions. Wait. I did show Super Volley, right? Yeah, Super Volley's right there. So, these are all self-explanatory. Sinister Shadow Games flips, Reshadal is a Monster Reborn, Core is another name, Shaddol Fusion, and El Shaddol Fusion are fusion cards. And they are going to be what make the deck go round. Moving on to the side deck here, we have the 3rd Hornet, Ladybug, and Centipede still chilling there, just in case we need to shift more towards the Insectors. I doubt it, but Skullmeister, Sleeper are also in here. Skullmeister is a hand trap, Fairy Tale Sleeper
can change an effect to being reflipping something, so, or setting something, so. For removal, we do have Lava Golem and BLS. Lava Golem is basically a bad kaiju in that it takes up the normal summon, and BLS is a boss on his own. So they may come in as challenges at some point. And Big Booty Judy is still here with Fleur de Lis. Lost Twin, Unending Nightmares, Spell Trap removal, and basically a attack reduction and effect negator. Bottomless Trap Hole is still in the side deck in case we need, and we know we're going first. Twin Twisters, back row removal, Triple Tactics. Well, we can actually make plays if we get Hand Trap now, which is the main reason I went for Shaddolls. Pot of Avarice, in case we need to start recycling and we're going second or something. And our second's Excalibur, just in case we want to boost up our Insector line again. Moving on to the extra deck here, we got one of each Shaddoll Fusion monster in case we need to Super Poly for them, and plus, in a nutshell, we do have the extra deck Space Fart. Winda, Cologne, and Construct are the main ones that we will be going into, as they are the most prevalent in the meta, and pretty much the only ones that are going to stick around. Grista can come up. Aliconitis, I did have a nice little combo with Night Sword Serpent in here, but I cut that. Wendigo and Shikanaga, yeah. We also are running the Construct and Nightmare Phoenix as our Link 2s, and then Exabeetle and Exastag. Exabeetle we can't really make anymore, but Exastag we can still make. For our rank 4s, we have Castel, Gabrine, and Asophil. Mainly, these are... I had one of them in the extra deck and 2 other Castels. I'm like, well, why not just take the 2 Castels out, toss in the Exo Sisters, and I can have interruptions on the opponent's turn. But that is the deck for this week. I would say let's go to locals, but I'm actually waiting on something, and that's totally not why I'm delaying these videos. So let's hop online for right now and try to complete this challenge. Okay, so going off this, we do have a chance of completing today's viewer challenge, which is to control 3 monsters from the extra deck. If we complete it, we get 3 packs of my choice, fail, and in the next episode, I can only spend $30. $30 is not a whole lot, so let's actually get this bread. With the Shaddolls in town, we may actually be able to complete this. So, let's move on to the duels. Number 1 here, we are playing up against Sleepy Vaporeon. We choose to go first, and our starting hand is actually kind of nice. We're going to go ahead and normal summon Ladybug. Go ahead and fire off an Insect Imitation, tributing Ladybug off, and see no interruption in that, so there is no Ash Blossom.
we're going to go ahead and activate the Dragonfly that we specialed off Insect Invitation only to get Imperm. That kind of sucks, but we are going to go ahead and set everything just so we can blind allure and see what we can get. We draw into Falco and Instant Fusion, which does help. Having to banish the Falco does hurt, but it's fine. They're going to go ahead and summon Chronomaly Nebula Disc, which will allow them to add one Chronomaly. Gonna go ahead and activate Shadow Game in response to that to send Squamata. Upon resolution, they are going to go ahead and add their iTablet. Temple thing. Gonna go ahead and activate Squamata. Squamata send Wendy. Wendy is then going to go ahead and set Hedgehog. Hedgehog is then going to flip when it's attacked to get us a Shaddoll Fusion, but they're going to go ahead and activate Ready Fusion to go into Sea Monster of Theseus, a normal tuner monster. Then Vermilion Dragon Mech is going to be Synchro Summoned. Oh boy, they're going to go ahead and banish to try to pop our Exosister packs, but we are going to go ahead and pay 8 Feel Great and add Stella to hand. Upstart Goblin is going to be activated and give us some life points in return, which is fantastic. Of course, they're going to go ahead and attack over the Dragonfly. This is fine, getting a Solemn Strike. We flip summon our Hedgehog effect to add the Shaddoll Fusion. And from there we can activate Shaddoll Fusion, fusing for Construct using the Electromagnetic Turtle and Beast. We are then going to trigger Construct as 1 and Ariel as 2. Sorry, that's the one we sent. And we are going to go ahead and banish their three of their cards in the graveyard. With Construct, we're going to send Core. Core is going to activate to get Shaddoll Fusion back to our hand, so we have the potential for actually getting all three extra deck monsters on the board. Hedgehog is going to swing in directly, and we're going to set a Solemn Strike. 3 cards in hand to their 5. We have board control. The Temple is going to be activated, and specialing out the Chronomaly Nebula Disc is going to add the iTablet, which is the one that I thought they were adding. No, they're going to add the Golden Jet. Never mind. They're going to activate the Rocket, which is going to send one Shaddoll monster, or one monster, and decreases my Shaddolls by 200 for its level/rank. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a Solemn Strike, to which they're going to send this weird dinosaur thing to prevent it from being destroyed. Then they're going to go into this Nebula Disc thingy, pay 1000, special summon their weird dinosaur thing. Nice. They're going to chain their Xyz monster, which is going to decrease Construct's attack to 0, and then tributing off their figure, going to pop Construct. Construct, when it's destroyed, is going to allow us to get Core back to hand, and then the iTablet is then activated. We are going to go ahead and negate the attack with Electromagnetic Turtle, and draw into Shaddoll Incarnation. Now, we have the potential for getting all 3 here. So we're going to go ahead and go Nightmare Phoenix, pop the tablet, activate Shaddoll Fusion, which gets Ash Blossom. So unfortunately, that is going to stop us there. On their turn, they're going to go ahead and activate the weird dinosaur thing again, and proceed to do the exact same combo that they just did. They're going to lower the Phoenix to 0, pop the weird dinosaur, and then swing in for... Oh no, they are not. They are going to just simply strike over it for 3,000 damage in total. And we're going to go ahead and activate Rishidal to attempt to special summon our construct, but it gets called by the grave. So unfortunately, we have to surrender. In game number 2 here, we've taken out all of the Insectors and put in pretty much our whole extra deck, or side deck. So, not setting the aerial, setting everything else. I'm hoping to draw into something decent. They're going to go ahead and summon the Rocket. Rocket is going to send Nebula Disc. And then Nebula Disc is going to... Or, Chronomaly Maui is going to be special summoned because the only other one they control is the Rocket. Nebula Disc is then going to be special summoned from the graveyard because 2 or more Chronomalies are on the board. Here we're just going to fire off Torrential, clear off their board, and they set 1 and pass. So, Foolish Burial comes in pretty clutch here. As I'm trying to figure out what I want to pitch, we're going to just go ahead and send Squamata. Squamata to send Wendy, Wendy to Deckbin, basically to set Hedgehog. So we can get a follow-up for the next turn. We're going to activate Rishidal Incarnation to set the Wendy. And then we are going to end our turn at that. Thinking back, I probably should have actually set the aerial and then just gone off from there, but... The Rocket is going to be summoned to send Magna Globe. And then... Nebula Disc is going to be activated because there's only Chronomalies on board. And you can already see where this is going. They are going to be Exceed summoned into the weird castle thing that... Yeah. Going to go ahead and attack into Hedgehog. Hedgehog's effect is then going to allow me to add the fusion back to hand, or fusion to hand. Second attack is going to hit Wendy. Wendy is going to be able to special summon Beast from deck. Or no, we go Falco. I thought I went Wendy. My bad. So we are roughly in the same position right now. However, they go ahead and overlay into Zeus. I should have shotgunned the Solemn Strike here, but here I am thinking, hey, we'll be able to bait out the Zeus and then hit it with the Castell or something, bait it out with that, then Solemn Strike it. However, Imperm is activated in the column. So not only is Aerial negated, Solemn Strike is negated, and I've spent a bit of time trying to remember which zone Imperm was in. So I'm just going to go ahead and link into Construct here. Construct to Fusion Summon, or Construct, and then start triggering off constructs from there. And Hedgehog. Hedgehog is going to add me Dragon to my hand, And then I am going to send Fusion to the graveyard. I am then going to trigger off Construct here to send Dragon to the graveyard and proceed to still try to check where, if I can, where Imperm was. But I'm gonna go ahead and target the face down card, which happens to be a artifact. Chain Solemn Strike, and I'm like, yeah, I should have figured. I should have figured. With only one construct in deck, I don't exactly have a way of outing the Zeus now. So, with the artifact popping that, unfortunately, I have no way of getting over it. So, we're going to have to concede this game. Alright, game number 2 against Code here. Our opening hand is actually pretty dang good. We got the Super Poly, we got Aerial. Unfortunately, nothing for the Injectors, but it is what it is. Pot of Prosperity is going to be activated, so here I am thinking it's not a extra deck based deck. So, Banishing 3 feels great. Dogmatica, okay. Shaddolls have a pretty good natural matchup against Dogmatica. However, Alistair the Invoker is summoned. I'm going to go ahead and pitch Inzektor Centipede for the Aerial. Alistair is still going to go off. Going to go ahead and activate Aerial to banish Alistair and their pot. Cult by the Grave is going to be activated in response to try and banish Aerial. However, we do have the Rashidal Incarnation, which we're going to chain to set Aerial. And because Aerial was not in the graveyard and cannot be negated, Alistair gets banished. So, Dogmatica Fleur de Lis is going to be summoned. And with that is most unfortunate. Fleur is going to crash into Winda and destroy her. And we are going to go ahead and add Rashidal Incarnation back to our hand. 1 set, 2 set, no sets. We know that is a punishment set, and drawing into Insect Imitation is not the best. We're going to set 2 cards, saying any one of them can be Rashidal Incarnation, in case they want to try to bait it out. And thankfully it looks like they are just going to go ahead and attack into our Aerial, triggering Fleur de Lis, which is fine. Aerial is going to be sent to the graveyard without being able to activate her effect because we have no banished Shaddol monsters. Drop for turn, we drop Beast. Beast is not the card we want to see. We're going to go ahead and special out Pankratops. Pankratops, pop it off for popping Fleur de Lis. And activate Rashidal to set the Aerial once more. We are going to then go ahead and pass our turn. And we are at quite the disadvantage. Meltdown is then activated. And Alistair, the Invoker, is going to be added to hand. Alistair is going to be normal summoned. And then Invocation is going to be added to the hand. We are going to go ahead and trigger Rishadal to flip Ariel. Ariel is going to activate her effect to special out Winda. In face up defense position. So right now they've got a shotgun the Invocation. And strangely enough, they are going to go ahead and send not banish Fleur, but they are going to send Cyframe Gamma from hand and banish Alistair. I don't understand the line behind that, but Mechaba is going to hit the board, and Invocation is then going to be activated to recycle one Alistair into hand, and Dogmatica Punishment is going to be activated. Entis is going to be sent to the graveyard, and Ariel is going to be popped. Entis is going to attempt to pop Winda for whatever reason. It does not work. Winda is then going to be attacked over by Mechaba. And I don't have any way of coming back from this. So I'm just going to scoop and go into game 2, where we are going to be going first. Normal summoning Armageddon Knight is going to get our combos going. We are going to send Squamata effect to send Wendy. The usual Shaddoll plays here. Wendy is going to set Hedgehog, and with it, double Solemn Strike, I don't have too much to fear, because we can then negate the Alistair normal summon, we can negate Mechaba. We got a lot of things we can do. So this may not seem like the best opening board, but it is a fairly strong opening board for the deck at least. Code is taking his sweet time, thinking about a play, thinking about if he can get around the Shaddoll Hedgehog setting me up for the next turn, and I am still thinking how I can get 3 extra deck monsters onto the board. Pot of Prosperity is going to be activated, banishing 3, feeling great, and I saw Fusion Destiny, and I'm like, oh lordy, he cometh. He cometh indeed. Alistair is going to be normal summoned, however we are going to go ahead and say no. No Alistair, the Invoker. Fusion Destiny is then going to be activated, sending Celestial and Dasher. Dasher from the hand. Thankfully, DP is then going to hit the board. Now, if DPE activates his effect to hit himself and a card, that'll be fantastic, but Nadir Servant is activated, sending Entis. Entis is going to go ahead and pop the Hedgehog, which I guess is fine. We're gonna have to take the L on this one and add Falco from deck to hand. Phoenix Enforcer is going to be activated, targeting the set Solemn Strike. So unfortunately, I cannot out DPE this turn like that. One card is set, and the end phase. During the next turn, during the standby phase, DPE is going to go ahead and come back. And I'm going to play a rather sinister game and set Ariel rather than the Falco. DP is going to be activated, popping itself, which I don't agree with. I would have said pop the set card, but because he sent Ariel to the graveyard, I get to activate her effect to banish not only DPE, but the material used to make it. So, we are actually in a fantastic position right now. DPE has been outed, and now all we have to do is deal with a normal summon of Ecclesia. Ecclesia is going to go ahead and add Fleur de Lis, and thankfully, because there are no special summon monsters from the extra deck, Fleur cannot come down. So all they can do is attack over Armageddon Knight, which has lasted for way too long, and pass their turn at that. But that also tells me that their set card there is probably Punishment. Drawing into Pink is probably the best way we can play around Punishment, because they don't essentially run anything above 2500. So Pink is pretty safe. Attacking over the Ecclesia, we are able to be 1 step ahead of the game, 2 steps ahead of the law. Setting Falco, we are going to pass our turn over to Code again, who is at 69 life. Nice. Setting another card, they are forced to pass. And we do have a fairly good setup right now. So we're going to flip summon the Falco. Falco is going to go ahead and get us Hedgehog. And we're going to go ahead and normal summon Electromagnetic Turtle. Why, you may ask? We're going to link off into Nightmare Phoenix. Ideally, I would want to pop one of the set cards, but for the sake of the challenge, I need to keep my cards in hand. Fleur de Lis is going to be activated to block an attack, which is good for me. So Pink is just going to swing over Fleur, and then we are going to swing in for 1900 direct. I could have actually probably sent the Sinister Shadow Games to pop one of the face down cards, but with the amount of board presence we have right now, as long as they don't top deck Alistair the Invoker, we are good. But it looks like we are good. They set one more card, and I can flip up Hedgehog. Hedgehog is then going to go ahead and get me Shaddoll Fusion. And then from there, we activate Shaddoll Fusion to fusion summon Shikanaga, making sure I don't fusion summon over Nightmare Phoenix. And then we just activate Instant Fusion to go ahead and get Winda on board. And there we go. 3 extra deck monsters, and we go into game 3 with Alistair the Invoker being normal summoned. Unfortunately, well, given I have no interruptions, Almirage is going to be summoned, and here I am like, why are you going Almirage? No, it makes sense to go Almirage into Secure Gardener, because then you can activate Maximus. Invocation is going to be activated, banishing the Alistair and the Secure Gardener in order to summon Mechabot. Invocation is going to be activated, to which I'm going to activate Skullmeister to try and say no. If this wastes 1 card in their hand, so be it. If not, whatever. We do manage to get an Ash out, and I am able to special summon my own Fleur de Lis. Dogmatic Maximus is going to be special summoned by banishing the Almirage And I'm like, this is not normally a card you play against Shaddoll's. And seeing the Ash in the graveyard, I'm like, okay. So what you're telling me right here is I can go ahead and get some pluses off of Alp Cologne here. So I'm gonna go ahead and send Wendigo and Alp Cologne. Activate Alp Cologne to try and add. However, they have the second Ash. New. So that makes sense as to why they pitched the Ash. They also sent Omega and Titaniclad, so Omega is going to go ahead and cycle the Ash Blossom, and Titaniclad is going to go ahead and special summon Dogmatica Ecclesia, the Virtuous. Now this is something we can go into, Shaddoll Dogmaticas, but we will have to see. Drawing into Electromagnetic Turtle is not the best thing we can come up with, so we're going to go ahead and fire off Shaddoll Fusion, hoping they do not have a spell card, which they unfortunately do. Going to the battle phase and proceeding to swing over Ecclesia, we triggered Fleur to gain 3 or 500, just so that the next turn I can go over the Maximus. Setting Electromagnetic Turtle, we pass our turn. With the Invoke player actually in so much advantage, we just scoop it up. Proceeding on to game number 3 here. We are up against a player named Player. Players gotta play, players gotta play. Oh. Proceeding into game number 3 here, we are up against Player. Ready, Player 1? They go ahead and normal summon Lone Fire Blossom, trigger off Lone Fire Blossom to send itself to the graveyard in order to special summon Evil Thorn. Evil Thorn is then going to be activated to send itself to the graveyard in order to special out 2 more Evil Thorns. And in the process, we take 300 points of damage. The Aromage field spell is going to be activated, and the 2 Evil Thorns are going to be linked off into Jasmine. And Parallel Exceed is going to be activated in hand, special summoning itself, and another Parallel Exceed as a level 4. Rika Flower Maid is activated, adding Lone Fire Blossom to hand. Then Jasmine is going to tribute it off in order to special summon another Aromage from the deck. Here I've actually stopped paying attention and was focusing on other things. Rose Girl is going to be normal or special summoned, and the Rika Flower, or no, the Sacred Beast is going to be special summoned. This is the VFD that wishes it was VFD. The Aromage is going to go ahead and add, I think it was the Rika Petal, which is then going to add the Rika Rosemary? Or Teardrop. This one. Which is going to tribute the Petal and special out Lone Fire Blossom. Lone Fire Blossom is going to tribute off the Aromage in order to summon out another Aromage. And here I am just like trying to read the Sacred Beast or Tree Beast Hyperion. Aromage Jasmine is synchro summoned, and Hyperion is going to equip get another overlay unit of a monster card. Then This Rika is going to make the Aromage level 8 so they can go into Teardrop. Set 1, which is the trap, and it's our go. And we have 1 brick in hand, unfortunately. So we got to deal with a monster negate, a interruption, in Teardrop the Rico Queen, Sweet Majoron does nothing. No other interruptions. And with actually no way of playing right now, we're just going to go ahead and do a T-set and pass. We were not able to go off. Their Dried Wind trap card is going to be activated, and Teardrop is then going to be activated to tribute our face down card, gain 500. Another Aromage is sent to the graveyard, Jasmine is going to be activated, and a whole bunch of stuff is going to activate, so I just quit that. Game number 2, we are deciding to go first. Or rather, I wish I was paying attention so I could see what I chose to go first. Or second. But you know. We go first. And our opening hand is, again, not the greatest. So, setting Torrential, Shaddoll Core, and Lost Wind, we also are going to go ahead and set Dragon. If we can proceed in the direction of forward, Evil Thorn is going to be normal summoned. We do get some advantage off of the Torrential here, so letting them extend quite a bit with... yeah. They are going to go ahead and tribute off Evil Thorn to get another one out, and since they only summoned one, I have to assume that the second one is in their hand. Primula, the Wicked Fairy, is going to be summoned and then linked off with the other Evil Thorn into Aromage. The Jasmine. Rose Girl is going to be special summoned, and Laurel is going to be special summoned as well. So right here, I could fire off Torrential, which is exactly what I do. Firing off the Torrential does give us a little bit of advantage, but we're not going to trigger off the Dragon. Going into battle phase, I fear an evenly matched, however, they just go ahead and set one card. We're going to go ahead and special out Shaddoll Core in defense mode at the end phase. Grabbing an Unending Nightmare does give us some advantage. We're going to tribute set Beast, set 1 and Bass. Hopefully with Beast we can draw into something useful. The second Evil Thorn is going to be normal summoned, and then Rose Girl is going to be added to the hand. Evil Thorn is then going to be link summoned into Dryas, which I really should have read, but you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players cannot read, and I am no exception to that rule. Let me tell you. Going to the end phase, I thought they were going to attack the set Beast. But unfortunately they do not. So we're gonna go ahead and start our turn by drawing Lava Golem. Flipping open Shaddoll Beast, we are able to draw into 2 more cards. And then from there, I have to make a executive decision on what I can send. It's between Instant Fusion and Lava Golem, but deciding on the Instant Fusion being the most unneeded card. We swing in directly, and then I just realized, oh, okay, I made a boo-boo. Setting Torrential Tribute, we're going to pass our turn. Drop for turn, and they perform a Link Summon into another Jasmine, triggering Parallel Exceed. Parallel Exceed is then going to be activated. I activate Lost Wind to negate it. In hindsight, I should have just Torrentialed here. Torrentialing was the better play because we could get an extra draw off Beast and... well, actually just waiting until the second summon of Parallel Exceed. But Jasmine is going to tribute off Parallel Exceed in order to summon out... oh, what do they summon out again? The Rika Petal. Rika Petal is then going to be activated. And going to add Teardrop, or wait, Primava. Primava? Snowdrop, sorry. Snowdrop is going to special out Rose Girl, and here I'm just going to fire off the Torrential. Clearing off the board, and we get a draw off of Beast. So we got the most use out of Beast that we could, forcing them to pass their turn, and drawing into Shadow Game and Hedgehog. We proceed to do a sort of tea set, almost there, one more card, to get our whole world started. Rika Petal is going to be special summoned again, and I'm frantically trying to check my graveyard. If anybody knows a way of, like, being able to check your graveyard during this on EDO Pro, like, this is kind of, like, annoying, but I'm gonna take a look at Lost Wind, because I don't remember the exact text to re-add it, but Rose Girl is going to be activated while Snowdrop is going to be added to the hand. The ideal play here is wait for a bit to activate Shadow Game. Snowdrop is going to tribute off the Petal in order to special herself out, and Snowdrop, or Rose Girl. To which Aroma Gardening is going to be activated, and I'm like, okay. I do have Unending Nightmare, so I can figure something out. Both are going to become level 3, and then Sync Road off for the Marajan. Marajan is then going to allow me to add my Sinister Shadow Games, or not my Sinister Shadow Games, my Lost Wind back, and activate Unending Nightmare to destroy Aroma Gardening. The trap card is then going to be added to the hand, set, and okay, they're going to swing into my Hedgehog. Or not, okay. I will accept. Passing it on over to us, during the end phase, I'm going to go ahead and activate Sinister Shadow Games to send the Falco. Falco is then going to, I'm going to be able to flip open my Hedgehog, set the Falco, and add Shaddoll Fusion to my hand. Drawing into Squamata is not the card that I want to see right now. I would have much rather seen something else, but Blessed Wind is going to be activated, and I am going to hold off on Unending Nightmare. They're going to go ahead and try to activate their Blessed Winds, but I'm going to activate Unending Nightmare in response. They are going to activate their Dried Winds, and then I'm then going to just activate Unending Nightmare again to destroy Dried Winds. They're going to go ahead and chain the Dried Winds, popping the Hedgehog and surrendering. Game number 3, and they are going first. They're going to Terraforming for the Aromage Garden, set 1, summon the Primula, go into Sun Avalon, and pass it like that. Drawing Beast is not the best opening hand, but yeah. We're going to set the dragon, which is our best out to the Sun Avalon. Set 2 and pass. During their turn, they're going to go ahead and activate the garden, and then proceed in the direction of battle. Attacking into dragon, dragon is going to flip itself up and proceed to bounce the Dryas back to the extra deck. From there, I make the biggest misplay I could. I proceed to click normal summon on Beast, and I'm wondering why I did this. But it's fine. Swinging in for some damage, we turn off the Aromage engine because they rely on having higher life points, from what I have seen. Proceeding into the main phase of their turn, they can't do anything, so they pass it off to us. Normal summoning Armageddon Knight and drawing into an Allure. Nothing exactly I want to do, so just send Squamata to send Wendy. Wendy is then going to set me the usual Hedgehog, so I can start firing off Shaddoll plays. And then we are going to hit in for a big chunk of damage with Beast and Armageddon Knight here. So we do have the match, or we are in complete control of the match right now. And to think, this is all happening with like one Shaddoll structure deck. Aroma Gardening is going to be activated, and then the turn is passed. Gonna go ahead and flip open the Hedgehog. Hedgehog is going to go ahead and add the Shaddoll Fusion, like normal. And then I'm going to go ahead and normal summon Exosister Elise. Go ahead and Exceed Summon into Caspatel. Activate Caspatel to bring out, or add Elise to my hand. And you know, if I was smart about this, I could have had another go around of all the another like 2 or 3 monsters, but you know what? I just messed up, so gonna go ahead and special construct here, activate construct to send Falco. Unfortunately, Falco misses timing here, and I can still get some big damage in here. Aroma Gardening is going to be activated, and then one Jasmine is going to be summoned, and then life points are going to be gained 1000, and she's going to draw a card. So, Construct is going to attack into her and destroy her thanks to her effect, and then Garden is going to gain even more life points. So, unfortunately, we do bring them down to 1900. Leaving the board state as it is right now, I could have gone for Construct or Link Summon into Nightmare Phoenix, but Evil Thorn is going to be normal summoned, tributed off to deal 300 points, and then special summon 2 more Evil Thorns to go into Aromage Jasmine. Aromage Gardening is going to be activated, and so is Parallel Exceed. Here, Parallel Exceed is going to go ahead and summon another monster, and Aromage Jasmine is going to go ahead and add Lone Fire Blossom to hand. So, I can... Here on the Rekka Queen, I'm going to go ahead and activate one of the 2 Tarantulas that were set. Sure, I do lose out on Construct, but it is what it is. Rose Girl is going to go ahead and be activated, and then Snowdrop is going to special summon herself along with one other plant type monster, which in this case is going to be Lone Fire. I'm going to go ahead and fire off the second Torrential. This should deplete all of their resources for the turn, and it does. So passing it on off to us. I have BLS in hand. I can special summon Shaddoll Construct by pitching Shaddoll Fusion from hand. And I'm thinking, okay, I've got game here. Wait, they got a face down card. I really should have gotten rid of it first. But now we swing in with Construct first, and then BLS for game. Oh boy, that was a back and forth match, and surprisingly enough, I'm really surprised that we came out of it. And that actually is going to wrap up this episode. With the success of this episode and being able to summon out those 3 extra deck monsters, as well as beating the Blade, today's been a rather productive day. I totally was not stalling for anything. Well, actually, by all technicality, I was. Let's see, I've kind of ordered another webcam so I can properly do the remote duels. And I've been watching the locals. The locals that I want to go to next have been having problems actually going off. So hopefully we'll be able to get in there. We gotta get in there! If not, then I can just keep going to the TCG locals. Although we don't get packs for that. And also we can see about going to IRL locals. So I did email for confirmation on another locals, and they are not opening up until later on in the summer, unfortunately. So yeah. Ending, I want to shout out to Mayo, because you know, my dude's been coming up with all these challenges, and I am very thankful for them because they are making this series actually more enjoyable for myself. Like, I'm looking forward to actually doing the duels rather than just the pack openings. But until the next episode, I will see y'all later.